What's going on over the next few days in Star Citizen? What are Cloud Imperium working on now? Cloud Imperium have released their This Week in Star Citizen post, and it all seems pretty important, so let's go through that. Alpha 3.17 has been released to the Evocati testing group. They're all currently hammering away at early versions of the build, reporting bugs and giving feedback, so that we can open up to the PTU very soon. So that would be first wave PTU that they are suggesting there, and that sounds like it might be very, very soon. Stella Fortuna, so Star Citizen's St. Patrick's Day equivalent, is set to begin this Wednesday, March 16th. They're going to have a comm link going up about the holiday and the lore and community contests and a lot more, so be sure to come by the RSI website once that's live on Wednesday. Now, on Tuesday, the narrative team has a lore post titled Showdown, Better Today. Two experts in artificial intelligence discuss a new piece of legislation proposed by Imperator Leilani Addison that would weaken restrictions against AI research and open the door for it to be granted government funding. So this is really interesting because the Imperator elections, players voted which one of the Imperator candidates they liked the most, and Leilani Addison won from backer vote. And we were like, well, does this actually have any tangible changes to the game? Well, it's certainly going to have tangible changes to the lore moving forward, because they're going to base a lot of these sort of talks and things like this directly on Leilani Addison being Imperator. And that could change the future of the game somewhat. It's certainly going to influence missions. It's certainly going to influence the lore and the sort of weekly shows and things like that. So I'm really, really loving this. And it's really interesting as well, because Cloud Imperium very much had said previously, oh yeah, AI sort of exists, but it's quite dumbed down AI. They don't have any sort of super clever AI that's sort of like Skynet or anything that is a true AI. And that was a design choice. Now, it looks like there might be at least little dalliances beyond that now. And yeah, very excited for the future since Leilani Addison has been elected Imperator. On Wednesday, the Stella Fortuna festivities will kick off, so keep an eye out for the comm link with all the details. Wednesday also brings the latest roadmap update and roadmap roundup. This should hopefully confirm that all the content in 3.17 is in, and maybe there's some additionals to that as well. I'm hoping nothing slips. It's looking good so far, and I'm hoping that we see some updates on Alpha 3.18 as well. Everything should be locked in for 3.17 now. Should have been locked in at that build at the start of the month. The only things that I'm a little bit concerned about were the Hull A and the Scorpius, but more the Scorpius, because obviously we saw the Hull A in Inside Star Citizen recently, and it's looking pretty complete and pretty good. The Scorpius, though, I don't know if that's going to be properly ready for a 3.17 live build. We'll have to wait and see what happens. With Stella Fortuna, you can expect some ships to be on sale, with green skins also available for them. So that's in regards to specifically ship sales. So that might be pretty cool for some people. On Thursday, Inside Star Citizen takes a look at selling items to shops. So this is the expanded selling of 3.17, and further progress on loot generation, plus a retrospective on medical gameplay first introduced in Alpha 3.15, and what's next for medics in the universe. I am super excited to actually get some medical rescue gameplay working and tangibly regular in-game. So what I mean by that is, yes, you can sort of res people now, you can do some medical gameplay, but it needs a bit more meat to it, and it needs to be a bit more sort of actively used by players. So at the moment, me and Zin will start to go and try to rescue someone, and they'll just decide to despawn and respawn after, like, 5 minutes, which is sort of like the time we've just started to get to them. So there's a lot of stuff there that I think incentivizing players to not want to respawn, but get rescued instead. And yeah, I think that's going to make medical gameplay a lot more interesting, and rescuing players and all that sort of stuff. I'm also hoping that Cloud Imperium talk here about, is it worth me still collecting loads of gear and loot in 3.16 and then selling it in 3.17? Or is there going to be some sort of wipe? It'd be nice if they told us that. What sort of price margins can we expect in the short term and long term for the game? All this additional loot that they're talking about, and the loot that we can find in containers that's separate from FPS gear and that sort of stuff, will that also be sellable? Will there be lots and lots of very valuable loots that we can find? So tell us more of the loots. That's what I'm hoping. This Friday, we've got an episode of Star Citizen Live. That's going to be on the Star Citizen Twitch channel. We don't have confirmation of time or exactly what they're talking about yet. However, we do know that at some point we're going to see the EU-PU gameplay feature team on Star Citizen Live. They had to reschedule that, so that will be at some point. And there should be a lot of relatively juicy, tangible information they go over there. Now, we could see that 3.17 first wave PTU as early as this weekend, as from the sounds of it, testing is going pretty well. The patch should be locked in, or relatively locked in now, so hopefully all of that contents will make it for 3.17, plus some more things. That would be great. Please keep in mind, though, that things do change. Sometimes there are delays to features. Sometimes they'll find a major issue in a PTU and they go, actually, it's going to be a while longer before we can get this feature in. Sometimes the live and open PTU phases are delayed somewhat based on testing. Some little features and things are kept hidden, and there might be surprises during the PTU testing or for the live build. So lots of stuff could still happen. 3.17, though, represents the Fleet Week patch cycle. So Fleet Week, that's an event in May, and that's a big sale event, and a lot of stuff players can get involved in happens at the same time. So expos and cool little tours and lots of things. I've been wowed every year at Fleet Week, and I'm expecting that Cloud Imperium are going to do something more to wow me even further this year. So the same as last year, but more, most certainly. The start of each year for Star Citizen is pretty slow. Until the end of the first quarter, it's a bit of a slog towards the next major patch. However, that said, this year's Q1's been pretty good with a load of events and gameplay. We've been able to play 3.16 pretty well, I think. It's been a good distraction. However, we're about to enter Q2. We're about to get 3.17. And then Star Citizen schedule, releases, events, they all ramp up. And I'm really looking forward to covering 3.17 and all the juicy content beyond to 3.18. And then obviously we're sort of getting towards the end of the year after 3.18, the second half of the year. And that's when we have things like Citizen Con and all that juicy, meaty content. Anyway, sorry, I've got too far ahead of myself. I think of Star Citizen in quarters now. But I hope you will join us for all the coverage we will have of 3.17, all the patch notes, all the sort of tours, and looking at each of the individual new features as and when we can. And that will be as soon as we have first wave PTU. Boom, that's it for your This Week in Star Citizen schedule. But what do you think? Are you excited to see Alpha 3.17? Obviously, we can't talk about the Evocati specifics, but when you are testing it in the first wave PTU, what do you think? Are you expecting to like 3.17? Have you been waiting for selling and ship refueling and all that sort of jazz? Do you think we could see first wave PTU by this weekend? Are you going to go look at that river on Microtech ASAP when it's in your hands? What do you want to see first when you're in 3.17? What are you going to go do? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm French and sophisticated. I am also French and also sophisticated. Let us go on a date. Neither of these people are French or sophisticated. It was me doing a funny voice, as well as showing the horrors of dating online and what happens if you accidentally catfish yourself with 2 of your own accounts. But French people don't talk like that even. No one does. NordVPN can make you appear to be in France, but it doesn't make you French, as I've now found out. It can be used to improve security or give you more accessibility to the internet. I can watch all my favourite shows. Get yourself NordVPN today in the links below and maybe be a better version of yourself. Now that's shilling for you. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway, and March is no different. We have a Crusader Industries Mercury Star Runner. This multi-crew, multi-role, cargo and data running ship is my favourite ship in the game. It has loads of little smuggling holes. It's got a good amount of armament. It can do a little bit of everything in the game at the moment. To be in for a chance of winning it, just comment on any of my videos made during March. More details in the description below. Please consider liking, subscribing, and potentially even clicking that join button under my videos to help further support the channel. Share the videos around with your friends and family. You'll occasionally get exclusive videos, posts, and polls that help influence the channel, along with emotes and badges to show your support. It really does help. There's also a Patreon and direct donations tool for those inclined. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you have a great March 2022!